live here for anybody who wants to join. We'll wait until somebody joins. But see if I can find the phone mount. Unless somebody got on here and took it. Which is possible, I guess. Oh, no, there it is. Hey, there's Cameron. See, can I rotate this? Yes, I can. How's it going, that one bus guy? I got to get this cluster out of here again. Hold on, let me rotate it back. I did put the new cluster in, but it's got some issues. I know it's a little different, but I like it. I think it's a good improvement. But I've got to take it out of here again because there's a couple of things that aren't so great about it right now. Basically, the right turn signal indicator doesn't work, and a couple of the bulbs are dim. So I'm going to see if new bulbs will do it. How's it going, guys? Just saying that I need to take out my cluster that I just put in here, my gauge cluster. So I know I uploaded a video talking about doing it. I actually have 2 more videos uploaded and scheduled with putting this, or replacing the gauges, the odometer and the hour meter, and putting the new bulbs in. And turns out that the bulbs, or the bases that I put in that video, don't even work as good as the old bases. So I had to swap all the bulbs out in the bases and stuff, and that was fun. But basically all it holds these things in is a screw right here, a screw right there, and then there are 2 clips. This one wasn't necessarily clipped in all that well. I couldn't get it to clip in, so this one was the only one in there, so that's how I got it out so quick. Those clips make it kind of a pain in the butt. But also, there are 2 air lines back here, and then there's 3 plugs. So I need to get those out real quick. Let's see. Turn this back around. Ooh, my face, gross. You're going to hear some air, and that is because even though I pumped the brakes down pretty far, till the parking brake popped out, there's still air in the system. So whenever I unhook these air lines, there's going to be air coming out of them, but there's no big deal. So I could pump them down even more, but it's easier just to go ahead and unhook the air lines. There's only like 30 pounds of pressure in there, if even that. So yes, 147 has air brakes. Both my buses do. There goes one air line. If I don't drop my wrench. Good thing is you only need 2 tools to take this thing out, and that's a screwdriver and a wrench, a Phillips head screwdriver, and an adjustable wrench. And there's even a spot behind the dash, on a Bluebird at least, where, let's see, you can get the handle of the adjustable wrench behind the dash here. So that helps. Let's see, I need to turn this around. I'm trying to do it all one-handed. But there we go. So there's one air tank fully drained. Here comes another one. Oh, sorry, you have 4 plugs. You have one for the ABS light. It is separate. I might go ahead and put an LED bulb in there too. But basically, there's 2 air lines that hook up there. And then there's 2 plugs right here. There's a plug right there. And then that's the ABS light. It is separate. So, got to be careful with that. But not very hard. They just come right out. If it's a gauge cluster's been in there the entire life of the bus, and it'll fight you a little more, especially on the yellow one on the left. That's the one that really tries to fight you. And Noah had to cut that one out of the junk bus that this cluster came out of, so. But now we got our cluster out, so hopefully all we have to do is change a couple of bulbs and we should be good to go. So one thing I also like to use the adjustable wrench for is to get these bulbs out, because they have these square bases. And also I took the air gauge light out to get those lines out because it's easier. But basically just hook on there and just very gently unhook it. You can see where I put a LED bulb in there, and for some reason it's not wanting to work. But in one of my other clusters I had this light, which has a slightly different base to it. I'm not sure if it really makes a difference, but I'm going to try it. And they just click right in there. But we're going to hope that that works. That is what our issue is. It's just a bad base or a bad bulb. So that's pretty much what it's supposed to look like. So now I get to hook it back up and hope for the best. But let's see. Trying to think. I guess it would be this light right here, which is the one that might be bad. So there are 6 little screws here I'm going to take out so that way I can get to that light bulb. See, there's one. There's another one right here. Nope, don't want to lose that. Although I have spares over at my apartment. It's not too far from here. There's a third. 4th, right down here. Basically, your screws are right here, 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 and here. As for all these other bulbs, it's kind of hard to test them because you won't know unless that light needs to come on, so those might not work and I'll never know it. But hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Hopefully I'll be able to pick up on that kind of stuff before I need that light, depending on what it is. Let's see. Oop. I need to look at my comments. Air brakes, yeah. West Virginia spec bus. Both buses are West Virginia spec. This does have a manual jackknife door. Sorry, I'm just now getting to these. I kind of went on a tangent here. Not a tangent, but I went in a little tutorial that nobody asked for. But I got first gen dash from CNC Bus Parts in Lebanon, Ohio, which is where my buddy Noah lives. Busboy 501 Productions on YouTube. They had like 4 or 5 first gen CEs there that they're about to scrap. And I think the only one that they actually ended up scrapping after the fact was the one that this dash came from. But paid about $100 for it. Let's see. Air brakes is a West Virginia spec, yes. If you'd like to recreate 681 in Roblox, that'd be pretty cool. Any tips for owning a newer bus? How new are you looking? Because if you're gonna get anything with DEF, unless it's something really unique, I would just stay away from it altogether. But let's see, I know I have another light in here somewhere. But anyways, it's pretty much like older buses. Make sure you keep up on your maintenance. Have buddies who know what they're doing if you don't know what you're doing, like me. People who can walk you through how to do these things, who are good at explaining things, who know what they're talking about. Those are the main things. But also those have a lot more computer systems and stuff on them, and that is a pain in the butt I would not recommend owning anything like that. My buses have computers on them too. They're kind of in the earlier stages where it was more primitive technology for the computer stuff, and it wasn't as, the bus doesn't rely on it as much. There's no DEF. That's the big thing. It was kind of in the era where I feel like computers actually helped the motor a little bit instead of making the motor rely too much on them. Which, I mean, there's still a lot of sensors and stuff like, you know, my old Ward didn't have because it was fully mechanical. But I feel like this was just kind of like the golden age of school buses. It was like 97 to 04, maybe 07. You know, the end of the Freightliner and the end of like the SBCV. That's about whenever they were not as, or after the Freightliner, that's whenever they kind of, the FS65, I should say. C2 is technically a Freightliner, but that's kind of whenever it really started to go downhill. But you could argue that 2005 was the year that everything changed with the introduction of the second gen CE, and well, I guess calendar year 2004, because that's when the C2 was starting production and the CE, second gen CE was starting production. Everything became the same, and then it just got kind of boring and overcomplicated, and nobody really wanted to deal with that kind of stuff anymore. So, oh, I should go ahead and show this off too while I'm at it. 2012, yeah, it's gonna have DEF. Any tips for owning an old bus? Make sure that, you know, basically a lot like what I said. Make sure that you have, if you don't know what you're talking about, as far as like if you don't know how to work on it, make sure that you have people that you know that you're good friends with that know how to do so. So let's see. I'm trying to get this little menu off here. I don't know how, but oh well. Let's see. I am putting an LED bulb in the ABS light. The old bulb, just kind of have to shake it side to side to get out. But then you just pop the new bulb in there, and we'll see if it works whenever I get everything put back together. But I've already got everything done. As I was talking about tips on owning certain model years of school buses, I already got everything done. So all I had to do is, like I showed you before, change those couple of bulbs and put the screws back in, because that metal piece that I took all the screws out of just lifts right off and goes right back on top. So I did drop a light in here before, and I don't think it's going to come out, and I don't want to take the circuit board off to do so, so it's just going to stay in there. It's right in there on accident, but there's no bulbs in these holes because there are no gauges for them to illuminate. So just plug everything back in. We're not going to screw everything back in because we might have to take this right back out, but we are going to plug everything back in. Let's see, just kind of have to feel for some of it, like this ABS light. Just have to feel for it to catch, unless you remember exactly how it went in before. And I should, given that I've had this thing out like 4 or 5 times at this point, but come on. And the steering wheel does not give you much room to work with here either. But I'm not going to start the bus because the air lines aren't hooked up yet. But I just want to make sure all the lights work. I don't know what each plug on here does either, but I know every one of them needs to be plugged in for everything to work. You also want to make sure that the plugs are all the way plugged in. They'll usually click into place, but let's see. Alright, we got our gauge cluster loosely in there. And we don't need to turn the bus on to do this. All you need to do is turn the headlights on. And that is even dimmer than it was. replace that with the old bulb again. This one is not even illuminating, so I need to put the old bulb in that one again. Is our right turn signal working? Oh, it worked for a minute. I'm going to turn the key on. I'm not going to turn the bus on, but I'm going to turn the key on. ABS light works. It's LED now. Got the radio on, so. See, it worked there for a second. Interesting. I guess we'll have to take it back out again and see what we can do. I may just have to get to a couple of people, and they said that basically try and clean the connections and then maybe use a conductive paint pen. So I'm gonna have to try those, but try some other bulbs and stuff in here too. It's kind of toasty out here today for West Virginia standards in November. It's like 75 today. And it's been like in the 50s at the very warmest. Maybe hit 60s one day. I think Friday hit the 60s, but it's been not very cold, but colder than it has been. Let's see. Bring up that chat again. Let's see. What's up? It's been a while. Wondering if you've seen any retirees from Mike and B yet. I have not been to Mike and B since I was there in June, I think. So, I know Logan Daniels is up there recently. But yeah, some people do own newer buses like that. Usually they're using them for work, like contractors and stuff. Can the specs work or not? I don't know what you mean by that. You're going to have to elaborate on that a little more. So I spotted 2007, 2009, 2011 C's, and one Bluebird Vision from Huber Heights. Nice. Huber Heights has lions, I believe. I've not made it up there yet, but they do have lions. As in the bus, not the animal. But I wonder what's going on here with these lights. I have to take this metal piece back off again. Make a video next time you're up there, Logan. They are very welcoming to enthusiasts, which is great. I love that place. Oh yeah, no, with the sticker, he sent me a message about that. I haven't watched the video yet, but he told me about that in a message. I was pretty sure I was the one who noticed the 45 under where the sticker was. He sent me a picture, but I don't know if he mentioned that in the video or not. Let's try a different base in here. Oh, you got a demo bus? Nice. Logan, take your Nikon up there. Takes video. Or take all your pictures on the Nikon and then no batteries in the camera. Go get you some. Takes like what, AA, AAA, or something like that. But take all your pictures on the camera and then take all your video on your phone and charge your phone on the way up. Keep that thing charged. For 94 and 66 got scrapped. Oh, interesting. I think the Genesis is Genesis, whatever the plural of Amtran Genesis. There was like 2 or 3 of them up there at Mike and B's one time I went, I think. I got a video one. I got the Genesis badge off the front, and I gave it to Noah a couple of years later. When I was over there at his place last weekend, I saw it in his collection there, so I thought that was neat. I was going to give it away at the bus meet, but I was like, you know what, I'll just give it away to Noah. I was thinking about like raffling it or something, but nah. I was also going to take some models up there to do so, but I don't know. I'd like to have an event here sometime. Held for the public, so that way, you know, you all can come too if you want to make it here. But maybe I'll do something there. I don't know. Just an idea. No promises yet. Let's see. Trying to plug all this stuff back in. Take it out. Put this one in here. Which the air gauge light on 147's cluster didn't work either. So maybe it's a wiring issue of some sort. I've gotten it to work on this one. I don't know, probably just a bad ground somewhere or something. I don't know. Nah, still same deal. Start puking air out of the behind the gauges there. You can see this light right here is on. Like this one's kind of dim. In the middle here, it should be illuminating this side and then this side, but it's not really doing anything. But the right turn signal indicator is working, only when the bus is on. But the left one, or the left one's working, but the right one, so you can see it there, it's on, but the indicator's not working. That's where my issue is. But yeah, you can hear all the air coming out of those air lines back here. That one's peeking out right there, and I can feel it. But I just want to see if I can get it to work with new bulbs. So I'll probably have to just tack it again with some of that contact cleaner, clean it up, and then don't know. Maybe I'll get some of that conductive paint and touch up those areas, the contacts. But let's see, trying to get the chat back up here. Yeah, I made that Matchbox GMC video a long time ago. I remember making it, but don't remember much about it. I mean, I still have the model, but let's see. I saw the new C2 design. I think it's a much needed update. I wish they just redesigned the whole thing though. How much would be a good offer for a bus? Depends on the condition, make, model, miles, what's wrong with it, that kind of stuff. Let's see. What do you want to see, Hayden? You might have said later. I don't know. I'm still getting down here in the comments. Yes, my this bus that I'm in right now, 2004 Bluebird International with a DT466E and an Allison M60 push button. It's not got they had two options. You could get like the lever shifter, or you can get the push button. Mine thankfully has a push button. I really wouldn't mind a lever shifter, but the MD3060s, the handle on it is just kind of big, and it feels like you're kind of grabbing it like that instead of just a T handle, so it's not as comfortable. I guess I'll just attack this cluster again whenever I get some time. Well, let me make sure that ABS light. Yeah, the ABS light works. I didn't check it. I don't think. Or I don't remember checking it. But yeah, I just rather have the buttons. They're more convenient. Let's see. Take that air gauge bulb out again, so that way I can get to these airlines easier. Let's see, I saw I got a comment. Do I talk to Cameron? Yeah. He's one of my best friends. I did see the new CE design. I was supposed to go see it in person last weekend, but things happened at the dealership and salesman had other business to attend to, so Noah and I went up there with a couple other buddies, including Project 127 here on YouTube, and I got to see his bus, Dublin's old 135, and drive it around the lot where he keeps it there, and then we went and saw another buddy before that. It has 8 buses. I didn't get any videos or anything, but I think Noah got one of Hunter's bus. Trying to find the fitting here on this airline. There it is. Good thing about these 3800s is you can reach up behind the dash too. You don't have to take the whole thing apart just to get to something as simple as this. Yeah, it kind of sucks. The truck salesman up there at the dealership in Columbus was pretty rude to me too, because since the bus salesman bailed on us, I called the truck sales department to see if they could help me, and then he just hung up on me. So wasn't very happy about that, but I understand he doesn't care because he's not making any commission off of it. He didn't know who I was. I never gave him a name or a position or anything. I just called and asked if I could see the new school bus. He said, nobody can help you. I said, okay, well, can I come see it anyways? Like, can I just come on the lot? And he said, nope, nobody's back there to take you. And I said, thanks, have a nice day. Click. So, kind of didn't even wait for me to finish my sentence there. He just hung up on me. But which that was kind of upsetting, but it happens. Sometimes you deal with selfish people. All right, now everything's hooked back up. And I'm just gonna rest it in there, put the one clip in, and put my 2 screws back in. But not all the way, just enough to hold it in there. I don't think there's any grounding on these screws, so maybe I'll just try it. Maybe something's just not grounding. Let's see. Did it need the 6th gear to be unlocked? I would like to have this thing unlocked. I run about 2,400 RPMs at 70 miles an hour in 5th gear, and I'd like to up that to about 73 miles an hour in 6th gear and drop some RPMs so that way I can get better fuel mileage. Let's see. Almost got scammed when you were picking up a brand new bus. Oof. Sorry to hear that. Think about buying the bus from my district in Florida? Well, bus ownership is not all that you think it is. It is a lot of fun, but it is a lot of headache too, and a lot of money. Thank you for the shout out, bus. Here's your shout out. 4 Bluebird Internationals. Nice. I love me a Bluebird International. No, Nishan, I'm not breaking stuff. It was already broken. I'm trying to fix it. I know your bus has things that need fixed on it. Why don't you go fix it, Nishan? I don't know what's wrong with the beeper. It's always been like that, so I've had the bus. But, yeah. Well, Toby, I appreciate it. You don't have to watch me every day. If you want to, though, that's up to you. Is there anything you guys want to see on these buses? Can I start 23? Yes, but I'll have to shut this one off because I was using 23's key ring. So I have to get my other keys out. So that way I can, because I have a key for 147 on all of my key rings, and I just grabbed the first one that came out of my pocket. And it happened to be the one on 23, because I have a ton of keys for this bus. I have 2 for 23 and like 5 or 6 for 147. Oh. I don't know what that was. Open the window. Window's open. I've not seen any more Northwest Bluebird TC2000s that have been retired. Worst car ever is a PT Cruiser. I'd say it's probably a Yugo. Let's see. 23. I'll have to do cold starts on these once it starts staying cold. It's almost cold start season. But it's like 75 out right now, so we're not going to be getting any cold starts. I did just drive this one not long ago, so like right before I started the live video. Do something here. So let's go. This one builds up some air. If I had to bus to delete, what would I pick? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. If I had to get rid of one of these two, I'd get rid of that one over there. 23 a lot. I mean, I like both my buses a lot, but this one's my baby. That one's in much better condition, but this one's a little harder for me to replace. Kind of hoping that this is a good representation of what I plan to do to 147's wheels and what 23's looked like before. I think that looks a lot better over here. But once it stays warmer out here, I'm probably gonna replace those with LEDs. I don't know yet. I keep saying I am, and I keep saying I'm not. We'll figure it out when we get there. What were my plans if I had 681? Keep it 100% original. None of these thing would have been going on it, so I probably would have had a second bus after that that would have been doing all this stuff too. Maybe another Bluebird International, but I don't know. Or I may just had 681 and 594 and been happy that way and just had those two. Really not 100% sure. Think about getting a bus. What is a good first bus in my opinion? I would say get anything like 2004 and older. It's kind of hard to go wrong within those year ranges. Go model year, not build year. But any 3800 is a safe bet. Just make sure it's in good condition, you know, not too rusted out. Make sure it runs and drives, doesn't have any major issues. But those are good, reliable buses, and just about any Freightliner. FS65 would be a good one too. These are like the two best conventionals you could get pretty much throughout the history of school buses, in my opinion. S-Series are pretty good too. But I like my buses. They're good buses. Both run great. They're both in at least decent, good shape. Saving up money to redo the floor on this one. Also put new tires on this one. And then I need help getting the new hood on there. It's just finding a matter of scheduling the time to have people help me. That's the thing. 147 will go on a road trip once it gets new tires and the fuel tank patched or replaced. I've been wanting to take it on one. This is a very comfortable bus to drive. Just turning radius sucks. That's it. That's the only complaint I have about that bus, and that's just a normal 3800 thing, unless you're Noah's Wayne. Go to McDonald's in one of my buses. Well, the only McDonald's that had somewhat decent bus parking got torn down and is being rebuilt right now. So, yeah, plus I don't want to spend money on McDonald's. I got food at home I'm going to be eating after I get off of here. It's going to be a while, Logan, before this one gets to be on a road trip. So I'm going to need at least like $2,500 for tires. If I need another fuel tank, it's going to be another probably $1,000 for that too. So, which is more than I've got right now. C2, 04 IC, 07 or 04 FS65s. If the ICs are first gens, I'd say go for it. If they're second gens with the DT466, I say go for it. But with those second gens, they're going to have EGR system on them, which is basically an emission system. And whenever those start, the EGR cooler starts to go bad, that is very, very costly to fix. But it's still better than DEF. The FS65s would probably be a safe bet. They've got Mercedes in them. I like the Mercedes. I don't know how they are to work on. I like driving them, but the parts are very expensive. And if they're a Cat, it's basically the same engine this one's got, but more emissions equipment on it. So if it's got the C7, this is a 3126. If they're a 3126, you're in good shape. If they're C7s, just kind of be a little bit leery about them. They're still good motors to my understanding, but yeah. I forget how heavy this hood is sometimes. That's as far as it closes on its own because it's broken. May need to touch that up a little bit too. The other side like that? I don't know. Probably. No, it's not. Alright. Well, I might touch that up before I put the new hood on it. I don't know. Just have to give it a good shove here. Have I ever cursed in one of my videos? I don't think so. I might have. I try not to. CE7466, that's good. That'd be a good, it's kind of hard to go wrong with the 466. Now, if it's a Max Force DT, stay away from that one, but I don't think they started that until 08 or 09. What's up? Thank you, Grant. I think so too. Which bus is the best year? 2004 Bluebird All-American 3126? Or, sorry, I'm pointing the camera over here. I'm trying to read it. or 2003 Bluebird All-American with the Cat 3126. If they're both 3126s, they're about the same. But 04 is when they started the C7, but you can still get the 3126 in that year range as well. So it could be either or. But most 2004s were C7s, to my understanding. FS will have either 3126 or an ISC Cummins. Mine is a 3126, but the Cummins were good too. Trying to straighten the wheels out. Harder to do one-handed while it's sitting still. But, yep. ...2005 3800. Nice. That'd be at 04 by then, but probably 2005 Bluebird body. That one's the same way. I'll show you here in a bit. Go ahead and pump the brakes down on this one. It's got a Freightliner hood on it because it's a Freightliner. The Freightliner and the Bluebird part are separate. They just merged them together to make a school bus. Bluebird makes all of this part. Freightliner makes this part, the engine. Well, they don't make the engine, they source the engine, but they put it in there. The hood, the cowl, the frame rails, the axles, all that stuff. So it's got a Freightliner hood on it because it's a Freightliner. I put the Bluebird plate on the front there. But gotta hold this shut because if I just let it go, it'll open back up. So I'm contemplating buying a GoPro, but I don't know if I will or not. I think that'd be neat for some videos and such. But if we come up in here, oh, that's open. Let's see. It says it's a 2005, right there. 2005, but the VIN, we look at the VIN over here. You go to the 10th digit, which is that 4 right there. That indicates that it's an 04. It is registered as an 04, so therefore it is a 2004. But let's see. What's my favorite part of 23? Probably the manual transmission. I love that bus to death. That like I said, that is my baby. I cannot one. This one, I love it to death too. It is also my baby, but it is a lot easier to find a Bluebird International. Maybe not with that transmission in it, but still most of the West Virginia ones had, of this era, all of the full-size ones, to my knowledge, that were not manuals, all of the automatics had this transmission that were above a certain size. But that's just what was on the state bid, so that's why everybody got them that way. But yeah, thank you, Grant. I do too. It is a nice bus, nice transmission, a nice engine. Love my buses. I just thought I'd do that real quick. That way you guys can hear the motor a little bit better. But, yeah, Logan, we'll set something up. You know how I am, working 2 jobs and stuff. I don't get a whole lot of free time anymore. I've been spending the last month traveling on my weekends, and now I'm trying to catch up on that much needed alone time where I'm not doing anything. Yes, 681 had black around the warning lights and it had visors. That was a West Virginia thing. I have a whole list of stuff that I've written down for this bus that's not even done yet. I have a whole lot of stuff I want to do to this one. I need to do a list for 23 as well. I have a lot more ideas for this bus. 23, the big thing on that one is the floor. I need to redo the floor, and then after I get that done, I'll worry about the smaller stuff. This one, I really need to worry about the tires and the fuel tank first. So after that, I'll start worrying about the smaller stuff like the air horn. Maybe I'll do some of the smaller stuff over the winter. Stuff that I've pretty much already got the supplies for. The supplies are already very cheap, like, you know, Kansas brake tank or airlines or whatever. But I want to put a new driver's seat in both buses. I've got the driver's seat to do it. I want to put air horns on them, train horns on 23, and then the Hadley air horns on both of them with a pull cord. So I don't know. We'll just kind of see how it goes. Have a lot of ideas. Just very little time, very little money. But I would open that list right now, but it's in my notes on my phone, and I can't access that while I'm on here. Yes, I still drive 799. It is. I love that bus a lot. I just wish it had air conditioning. That is the only thing I wish it had. And that is one thing I'd love to put on these buses if it wasn't like $10,000, $15,000 each. Have it installed. I could find junk buses. I could do it myself, but I can't do it myself. I'd have to have friends help me. Which is still a lot cheaper than having somebody else do it, you know, like a business do it, but at the same time, it's still going to be very expensive. Yes, Nishan, it is. Lots of ideas, very little time, very little money. Story of an enthusiast life. Absolutely. If I had the time and the money to do what I want with these buses, they would be pretty freaking awesome. The 2024 C2s are not in yet, but I did talk to my director, and there is something coming in next month that is not those C2s. That is going to be very interesting. That's all I'm going to say. It is going to be very, very interesting. It is something that we have not seen here before, that I've known of. Nothing like it has ever graced our feet. That is not a Lion electric bus, no. I'm pretty sure Lion is focusing mostly on, like, California. We don't, if they're going to do electric here, it's going to be the electric buses that are made here, which is green power. So, yeah. Well, we have had a Beast pilot before, so probably those, yeah, that message was retracted. Love the way this thing sounds. Also, very strongly considering straight piping 23. See, this 681 had white around the roof Bluebird logo. Yes, it had a white roof. So, if you go on Flickr, and I don't know if you're on there and follow me, but if you do, you can just type in Cabell 681, search it, and then like all of my pictures 681 will pop up. So that way you will have everything you need right there. I have that bus pretty well photographed, so. Good afternoon, Justin. Glad to have you here. I think I am going to wrap this up soon, though. So, is there anything else that anybody wants to see on the buses? I also need to, one thing about it, I'll show you one thing. I have a bunch of stuff that I need to send down to Texas Street Man. He's got a bunch of vinyl and the bracket that he needs to send me. That is this bracket right here. See, this mirror is very loose because this bracket broke. I have mirrors that I can put on here, but they're aluminum framed mirrors, and I cannot get the body mirrors off to match. So I'm just going to leave these on here. But I need to get that bracket. I need to make a trip up to Mike and B's eventually. I don't know when, but eventually. And maybe I'll just go ahead and get the bracket while I'm up there. I don't get it from John. He's got a bunch of vinyl that I need to tell him what I need. But we basically agreed on a trade. I'm going to send him a seat bottom and some lenses, and he's going to send me the vinyl in that bracket. So, yeah. Sounds good, that one bus guy 25. Morning. Alright. I'm gonna hop out the back of the Ambers here because if I open the door then you won't see them. Because the reds will be on. Let's see. Here are the seats. Hey John. Came in at just the right time. Yes you did. Except I think I'm gonna end this soon, so because I've been on here for about an hour. Shut. There's my Ambers. But go to the front here. It's going to be in the sunlight, so it's going to be harder to see. That's the only thing about LEDs that I don't like, is that whenever the sun is on them, especially the Ambers, it is much harder to see them. Ah, that sucks, John. Hope it wasn't too bad. Man, those rims look a lot better since I painted them. But if you want to see some of Texas Street Man's handiwork, there's one right there. It's getting dirty. I need to wash this thing. That is not the quality of the decal. That is just dirt on top of there, because I park it back here in gravel and dirt. So let's see. This right here is his handiwork. Oh yeah, that's not bad. 12 bucks ain't bad. Let's see. I also need to peel these school bus signs off, and that is a pain in the butt to do. And I'm probably going to touch up the black warning light paint on both buses. I want to repaint the whole roof cap on 23 on both front and rear. But this one I'm probably just going to touch up under the school bus sign, and then you touch up the black on both of them. But I don't think I have any more of the Texas Street Man handiwork on the outside of 147. We did not for hire on 23. Let's see. I still have a bunch of it too that I haven't even applied yet. Did this one. This is a present, and I'm going to get another one of these for 147. It turned out really good. I still love seeing that every time I get on here. I feel like there's more than that on here, but maybe not. I think I had a lot that I planned on putting on, just haven't put it on yet. And this blue tape here, as you can see, blue seat, blue tape, I put that on each row that's going to have a blue seat on it, so it's just easier for me whenever I get around to doing that, to do that. But like I said, I need to redo the floor. And what I'm thinking about with this floor, there's the new driver's seat. It's probably going to be going in this one. Heated and cooled, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to hook that up. Anyways, I'm going to try and stay on topic. Once I get all this rubber flooring up and, you know, all of it replaced, I'm thinking about just going with a one-piece floor if I can, just to avoid having aisle trim to worry about, you know, coming up or whatever. Just make things easier. And that's one reason I haven't put seats back in this bus yet. Another reason is because I need to paint all the frames still. Most of them are still sitting in my storage unit. And once I get the frames out of there, I will have a lot more room in that storage unit. Maybe even just start keeping the stuff in my buses and not have to worry about the storage unit anymore. But I might keep it around anyways, just in case I need it. I really like the way, I still love the way this turned out. Every time I see it, I think about it and how much I love it. Of course, here's the new hood. You see why I need to touch that paint up there. Let's see. Does a school bus cost much money? Usually the purchase price is the least of your worries. You can find an old school bus for fairly cheap. Depends on what it is and, you know, what it's got as far as like engine, transmission, passenger capacity, you know, basic specs, whatever you want. That's you know, that's up to you how much you want to pay for it. But the main cost of school buses is the maintenance cost, or like basically not just the maintenance cost, but like your monthly costs, whether it be storage, insurance, you know, maintenance, let's see, fuel, things like that. If you want to do any modifications, like I put all LEDs on 147. It's got more LEDs than non-LEDs. So it's just a matter of how much you want to put into it, and how much, well, not just how much you want to put into it, but how much you need to put into it. I can tell you that I've spent probably north of $15,000 total on that bus over there. This one probably somewhere in the neighborhood of probably somewhere around like 10-ish grand, including purchasing it, which I spent way too much on this one, but it was worth it to me. So it was in very good shape for what it is. You can tell they've done body work to it. But, oh shoot, trying to climb in here one-handed is not fun. But yeah, school buses, the main cost is the upkeep and the cost to own one, essentially. Not just the cost to buy one, but the cost to own one. Would you consider aluminum wheels instead of steel? I'd consider it, but the thing is, like I was just talking about the upkeep and stuff, I don't want to maintain the aluminum wheels. It's a lot of maintenance to keep those looking good and shiny, and I just don't want to deal with that. That's why I don't have them on here. Registration, yeah. I really need to, I need to pay the personal property taxes on that one. I'm a little bit behind on it, but I haven't gotten pulled over yet, so. Luckily in West Virginia, whenever it's not got a Kelley Blue Book value, it's just I think it's a percentage of what you paid for it. So that one shouldn't be too much. I only paid like $2,000 for that one. This one I paid north of $6,000 for. But like I said, it was very well maintained. It was maintained every 17 days by the school district and got pretty much anything it needed. But before they sold it, they decided to put tires on it, which is understandable. They want to keep their better tires that they paid for. And then the fuel tank was not leaking when I bought it, and then soon after I bought it started leaking. So that just, you know, stuff happens. You got to expect the unexpected. So yeah, I'm gonna shut this one off. But yeah, John, if you're still here, I took the bulbs, some of the bulbs out, to see if that was the issue, and I think it's not. So I'm gonna try that paint pen you're telling me about, which I mentioned earlier in the live stream. Some of the connections are kind of scratched up a little bit. Oh, I forgot I screwed it back in, but still easy to get out, so I don't mind. Oh, no problem, Justin. I'm glad I could help you relive some of those memories. And that's why I own this one, is because it's very similar to what I rode to school that I tried to buy, but was not able to because I did not want to pay close to 10 grand for one of these. Well, I didn't have the 10 grand to spend on it. I put every single dollar that I had to my name on that auction and then still got outbid. So, and that was the bid and not the fees after the bid too. So I would have had to borrow money to buy it, which was not good. So yeah. Yeah, I tried to put different bulbs in it, but I don't know if it's an issue with the circuit board or a wiring issue or what, but I'm hoping that it's something that I can fix. If not, it's not a huge deal. I can still see the gauges at night. I could tell my turn signals are on because I've got that mirror over there. So, which I try to keep an eye on these mirrors, not all the time, but you know, whenever I check my mirrors over here, which you need to while you're driving, I check these as well, especially when I'm making turns, so that way I can make sure my lights are working while I'm making that turn. But if I hadn't put all this mostly back together, I'd show you where the connections are kind of scratched on the back side of it. So I'm guessing that's what the issue is. I just hope I didn't mess anything up too bad. Who do I use for insurance? I use Progressive for this one and State Farm for that one. That's why that one has no seats in it. Two reasons. Whenever I bought it, I was like, well, I'm going to have to replace the floor anyways because it's a little bit soft, which was stupid. But yes, I took the seats out for that one, and State Farm was cheaper by about $20 a month. And then I ended up spending $50 a month. Well, no, I think that one was like $130 is what they wanted, and I pay about $80 for it now per month. So it was $50 a month cheaper to insure it through State Farm than Progressive, and then I ended up spending that money anyways on a storage unit to store the seats. So didn't really save any money there, but I also use a storage unit to store other things, so that helps. But so I guess it kind of was a good thing. But then after I took the seats out, the floor started getting much worse, so I'm gonna have to replace it anyways eventually, and that's probably gonna be $4 or $5 grand for me to do, just supplies. And that's something that I might start this summer, or not this summer, this winter, because it's gonna be cold out, and wintertime is for working on the insides of the buses. Summertime's working on the outsides because it's hot outside in the summer, so that's where you want to be because it's still cooler than the inside, and it's cold outside in the winter, and it's typically, you know, you're out of the wind and stuff, so that's why you want to work on the inside in the winter and the outside in the summer. But so I don't know, I might start tearing stuff apart. Hopefully it's not too far gone where I'd have to sell it, but we'll find out. See you later, guys. Take it easy. I think I'm going to actually go ahead and cut off this whole live stream. Hey, Eric Freeze, sorry that you joined right now because I'm about to cut this off, but you can go back through and watch the whole thing if you want, or parts of it, whatever you want to do. appreciate you all coming out and joining me for this. And I like to do these lives every so often, so that way I can get a chance to talk to you guys. You guys can get a better look into what I do instead of just me filming a 5-minute, 10-minute video on what I've already done or what I'm about to do. So what we did here today was pretty simple. Nothing too bad. It was already partially taken apart, so that helped. But maybe I'll start doing this a little more often whenever I'm out here on the weekends or in the evenings, and the evenings that I'm not working, and the weekends that I'm not working. But we'll start, showing off some of the other stuff that we can show off. So that'll be about it. Appreciate you guys coming around, and try and have a good rest of your day. If I can figure out how to, I forget about how to do this every time. All right, there we go. Have a good one, guys.